Right, Cura team, welcome back to PS5. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We're going to be starting a new map today, as promised, and it's going to be a tropical map. So, here are some of the map settings. This is the seed, which I like the look of. I think it provides enough challenges. There are a few towns that are on whatever this main section of land is. And then there's three outlying towns. The one on the top left looks like it's going to be particularly tricky. It doesn't look like it's going to have much in the way of resources near it at all. There's no industries on that island, so it's going to make that a challenging little place to develop. And there's some water challenges and some terrain challenges and yeah, this looks like it's going to definitely bake our noodle a little bit. So I did say we're going to medium map. This is a medium map. Um, I'm still saying with the one-to-one format. I like that. Like I said, I do like that. I've gone with the high density of towns and the medium density of industries. That's the same settings as I had before on the small maps. We get 10 towns, we get 61 industries. That's enough. That's a fair amount to be getting on with. To be fair, based on how long it took to deal with the small map, which was 5 towns and I think 40 industries. So there's the seed. If you want to copy the seed over and play the map yourself, I've kept the hilliness, the mainland, the forest, and the islands essentially the same as they were before, which is roughly in the middle, not too little, not too much. Just kind of put it where it is, which is fine. If we go back to our map, sorry, and we have a look at what's next. So once again, I'm going to start 1850, and I've been over the reasons why I want to do that. Medium difficulty is fine. I think up to 4 cargo types is probably still sufficient. Let's just hang on with 4 cargo types for now. The industry closure frequency sometimes density target is medium. So I think that is fine. The custom settings are on. We're going to go and have a look at those. So if we go to the advanced settings, it's a tropical map. We're going to go with the Asian vehicles and the Asian town names because I think we haven't done those so far. Now, with that in mind, when we do have a look at the mods, that means what I want to do is I want to stick to Asian themed mods. Okay, we're going to settle with the tropical environment. We know that messing around with that can mess the outcome of the map. We don't want to do that. Like I said, difficulty is medium. The rest of the modifiers, I'm going to leave it 100%. I don't really want to change those. Same with the rest of it. Just leave it all at 100%, and that's it. So these are just the things that we're going to have to deal with. If we have a look at the mods, I'm going to go through and change the mods. This is the holdover from the old mods that I was using. I want to focus on a different set of mods. The mod manager is a bit dreadful though, because you can't just do this en masse. What happens is, for example, on this one, I don't want the expanded industry. So then we end up down at the bottom. You got to go all the way back to the top to change it again, and I don't want the add-on for the mail and waste. It doesn't seem to work properly on console, so I get rid of that. I can't. I'm way down at the bottom, and I gotta go back to the top again, which is a significant nuisance. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna disable a bunch of mods, and then I'm gonna enable the mods that I want to use, and I'll bring you back in when they're fixed because I can't save that without moving on to the map. And I want to show you the mods. I want to have a conversation about the mods. So I'm going to get on and do that, and I'll bring you right back. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so here we are. Here are the assets that I want to use. So if you want to follow along or you want to know any of the assets I'm using for detailing in various things, and it's predominantly about detailing for me in this one, which I covered in the Alessandria, was missing some assets that would help me do a little bit more detailing, which is what I wanted to do. So we're still going to work with the dynamic industry scaling, which is fine. I like the entropy for the rail stations, which is fine. The open storage for the rail stations which is allows uh, a number of the things to be stacked outside. Really gives the stations that real feel like they're being used. And we have the cargo station modules, which is also works very well together with the open storage. The animal assets is basically I can place animals, which I said, when we're trying to develop detailing with animals for farms and wildlife parks and things like that. The compact tunnel entry is pretty straightforward. It's just kind of a neater tunnel, which is fine. I like that for detailing. Floor shapes assets, which gives me a whole load of floor panels, which it should be great for enabling quite a lot more detailing. The greenhouse asset, a lot of these come from Ingo 1111. I don't know who they are, but they're obviously doing a pretty good job. I switched that one off. That was a greenhouse asset, wasn't it? This is alphabetically A B C D E F G greenhouse. So where were we? It was down at the bottom here. We'll have a look at this while we're looking here. It just again, just they're greenhouses. What else do you need to know? What else you need to know? This is probably one of the bigger ones, and this is the buildings. So this is a whole raft of buildings. This opens. There's a caravan there. There's a playground. There's a whole load of other things, which we can use, which will be fantastic on this map. I feel being able to use those. Also, this one, which is trees. So these are trees without collision, which is great, but also just the variety of trees that are there lends an awful lot more to be able to mess about with things and really get things going. I've checked in a Japan style station. I don't know if it's going to work on this map. It looks very blocky, but we'll see. We'll see. Railway ballast gives us some options for making some of the lines look unique, look quite special. So that should be pretty good. Again, rocks and stones, a variety of rocks and stones, which is great. That gives us more options. This one looks great. This is perfect. Look at this hotel asset with a hotel, a pool, a dive center, jetties, and accessories. Oh, that I'm looking forward to placing that. Let's put that down. Vehicles as assets. Once again, all the vehicles from the game as assets, so we can place them wherever we like. So if we want to do various other bits and pieces, we can stack them where we want to stack them, which is awesome. The water assets, which I previously talked about in Alessandria, it's water surface with animation, so I hope it works, but it should give us the opportunity and ability to mess around with things like ponds and pools and various other bits and pieces. In the greenhouse, as we said, obviously there's a limit to how many mods I can enable. I could probably squeeze in a small one, but I think that's enough, and it's really playing the vanilla game. I've not added in, while I have a lot of mods, a lot of them are actually European based, so things like the Austrian buses. We got planes, we got a variety of locomotives, British Rail locos and things. I think they would just be out of place. And it's not really playing into the style of the map that I want to play. So we're really playing with whatever vanilla assets in terms of trains, locomotives, horses and carriages, etc., that get thrown at us from the Asian map. And other than that, I've tweaked some things with dynamic scaling. But after that, it's mainly about layout, it's mainly about detailing. So that's where we're going to be going. So we're going to be applying those, which is fantastic. It says it's generating the map, which is jolly good, and it says we can start. So let's have a look at what we're going to get, shall we? Right, here we are. Oh, it's very interesting indeed. Right, so Yekaterinburg? Is that Asian? I guess it possibly is. So Yekaterinburg in the north for your reference, and we've got down here Quezon City in the south. They're starting with a need for goods. That's going to be hard to fill, I'll tell you that. They're not starting with anything basic. Food and fuel is fine. Food and fuel is fine. Again, machines, you're not going to be getting that till later, pal. Kuala Lumpur wants fuel. Nagoya, again, and you're out on your own and you want to get goods and machines. I tell you, food and bricks. It's handy that you've got the food sorted there. That's Dubai, and we have over here we have Jakarta, food and machines, and Ekaterinburg wants machine and bricks. So yeah, so that's interesting, and it's an interesting selection of waterways that we might have to manage our ways through. In terms of not industries, but in terms of the assets, we have all of these, as you can see here. Now we've got an additional selection of palms. We've got a whole selection of variety of rocks. We've got the rocks and stones assets, which is here. You can see there's a whole load of there's cracked rocks, granite rock, sandstone, mossy stone, feldstone, tetrapod, um, whatever a tetrapod is. I can't seem to um, select which one I'm getting, which is very interesting. You got colors, you got sizes, you got object heights, etc., etc. So I don't know um, how do we individually select those things is going to be something to find out. Anyway, I'll worry about that. We've got rocks and stones as assets. Stone walls, that's great. Stone walls, bricks, corner, passage wide, stairs, etc. That's all very good. The whole building assets thing. I'd how you left and right is how you select everything. My gosh, there's a lot of things to. There's a complete playground. Nice. So there's a whole load of things there. Size does not work for everything. Okay, thank you. That's all well and good. And then Ingo's tree assets. So yes, we got a whole load of other stuff here. So that's brilliant, just brilliant. And we've got vehicles. We've got floor shapes. What have we got in the floor shapes department? We've got all kinds of things. Look at that. So I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled. And the hotel. What's the hotel look like? You can't you build it together, do you? Do you build it together? I can't see that pavilion. There you go. There's a pavilion. Oh, so you build it yourself. I see. You can put the terraces together. How do you connect them? I wonder. Boarding ladder, berthing bollard. I wonder how you go through uh, by changing the sizing, because he seemed to have like connecting pathways and stuff. Anyway, things that I need to work on, things that I need to work on. We have all these assets and we have all this stuff, which is jolly, jolly good. So, what jumps out at us as something that we want to get started with? Ironically, there's steel here ready to rock and roll, and we have coal and ore. And we know that these produce an endless supply of stuff. And this really needs an almost endless supply of stuff. So that's a bit of an instant win right there, I think. Setting up a steel business would be a great idea. And you've got machines over there, which is also pretty good. We have lots and lots of rocks on the map. Um, we've also got oil here. We've got oil here, and we've got oil here. That looks like an easy win to get that started. There's no refinery nearby. There's a refinery way over there. Um, but we can at least start making money off that if we want to make money off that. Um, what else have we got kicking around? Got lots. You got some more fuel there, which is going straight to refining, which is great. We've got some stone and some bricks, which is over there, which looks like that's probably also a pretty solid win. Um, we obviously have a wheat farm and a food processing place right there, which is very useful. Um, I'm trying to look at logs and timber. There doesn't seem to be an easy win for logs. Hmm. We have logs here, and we have timber here, and we have tools here. But we would need to get the logs down there. It's a bit of a journey, but logs are another one of those things that really, really produces super, super. Or actually, it's here, isn't it? Look at this. We've got these two forests. Not that we need to. And we've got timber production here. So we could set up a timber production here, and the timber production can go around there. If we got steel up there. So there's a number of options that look really good to get started with. So that's the kind of things which we're gonna want to get started with. Um, I need to. We've got lots of different bus shelters which have come through from the Ingo's mod stuff. If we were to place a road depot down, where would we want? Well, we want to connect some places, don't we? We're going to want to connect some places, and I think we're going to want to connect at least something here. So let's put a road depot down here for a start. That's fine, and let's have a look. So in terms of what we've just got the Troika, which is the passenger vehicle, carries 3, and we've got a little horse-drawn carriage in terms of cargo. So that's, fantastic, jolly good, everything's marvelous, wonderful, super, and great. And in terms of the trains, we will have a train depot, which is going to cost me a little bit of money. But I'm just gonna plonk it down here for now so we can have a look, and we can have a look inside. Right, this is what we're getting started with: the Class 5, 45 kilometers an hour steam train. Okay, and some really tiny stuff that's going to carry some really small amounts. We do have one of everything. We have a tank car, which is good. So we have some really small things that are going to give us some really small things that we're going to have to work our way around, which is fine. That's what we're going to have to deal with. So what I'll do is I'll get started on setting up a couple of these lines, and our first priority is pay off that loan, $5 million. What we want to do is we want to get some lines working. We want to pay off that loan, and then once we've got some primary production lines going, we want to try and get some closed production loops going. We have this one here, which looks like a solid winner. We have uh, we have stone to bricks to Dubai, which looks like a solid winner for Dubai. And I think, oh yeah, look, there's more food there. We have wheat to food to Krasnoyarsk, so that's a solid win for them. Nothing down at Quezon. Nothing over here at Faisalabad. Kuala Lumpur, probably not yet. Nagoya, no. Bangkok, no. Yekaterinburg, no. So we've got a few things to get started on, a few things to get working on. So I'll just get stuck into that, and you can enjoy the time lapse. I'll see you soon. Right, so there you go. You've just seen me set everything up. We'll turn it down to slow. You've just seen me set everything up. So we have set up the logs here, which is going over to the sawmill here, which is great, and that is working okay. A slow train, but he's still running me a profit, which is pretty good, and that's underway, which is fine. We have this guy, which is shipping wheat from Krasno to here where they are making it into food, and I put this line in just quickly offline. He's just coming in. Let's see. This is his first run, so we'll see. That's why he's showing red, but we'll see how much money he makes when he comes in. Da, 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 da. Bing. Ooh, didn't quite make enough that time around. Okay, something to bear in mind. We'll keep an eye on that one. This is our first industry to disappear already. That was fast. And we went around and we put in internal bus lines into all of our towns so that we have internal bus lines running, which is important to get people happy and to make us a little bit of money. And I put some cross-country commuters in. We've got this block here through the center, Yekaterinburg, all the way to Quezon City, and including Dubai and Bangkok, which are all connected, which is fine. Kuala Lumpur is, I'm not sure at the minute, and Nagoya is an island, Faisalabad is an island, and Jakarta is on its own little island, so they aren't connected as yet because bridges are going to be an expensive prospect. So basically, all the towns on the mainland except for Kuala Lumpur. Why, you may ask? Well, Kuala Lumpur is 214. Um, Daegu is, sorry, that's a bus. Daegu is 220 and Dubai is 134. So who's going to want to move to where, and what's going to be the impetus to moving? Kuala Lumpur and Daegu are much the same size, so maybe people will want to move there. People tend to want to go from the smaller places over to the larger places, not vice versa. That's usually how it tends to work. So we'll not worry about that for the time being. Um, so we have gotten our first possible train upgrade, which I am looking into. This guy here in particular, because logs are good. So we were using this Russian class 5 or class V, I should say. And I want to upgrade to this fella, which is the Russian class T. It's 10 kilometers an hour faster. It's got more power, slightly more attractive power. Really, the speed. I need 375,000 to do a swap. Are we gonna get that? Are we gonna get that? He's gonna come in. He's gonna spend a bit of money. No, we're not. Not yet. So anyway, that's the first thing I want to do is I want to swap out those. So we already want to swap out some things on our train lines that make a bit of money. I've kept the train lines like really super simple. They are single line. This was expensive but important because that small train, this train here, really struggles. Really struggles with grades, so I needed to spend this money on this ridiculous looking cut, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. So I've got to run the clock a little bit. I've got to make a little bit of money. I've got to change a little bit in pieces. There's still there's still some things left to do. Stone to bricks is something that we said that we wanted to do. We have oil well to refined oil, which is something that we absolutely need to do. Um, we might be able to get this one underway with carts, but the carts are so ineffectual. I might not bother. And what else? There is the oh yeah, there is no, it's not that one. It is trying to keep track of everything on the map is part of the fun. Where are you? I saw you here earlier. Kommen Sie hier bitte? Wo ist denn Sie? Oh yeah, this. So we have iron ore, a mill, and a coal mine, and a tiny little isthmus peninsula, whatever you want to call it, that connects the two. So I want to get steel going because that ultimately ends up making quite a bit of money. So we're carrying on with the simple stuff. We had to borrow a bit of money, which is common at this stage. It does take a while to get the profits rolling in. So we'll try and accumulate a bit of money. We'll try and connect up a few of these easy wins that we were talking about that are indeed easy wins, and we'll get those sorted. And once we've got the easy wins sorted out of the way, there might be some less easy wins, and then we need to think about what we do with the end product. We are supplying Krasnoyarsk with food. So this guy coming in again this time, he was at minus 32,000. He's now going to be at plus 45,000. So there you go. So we're now giving Krasnoyarsk some food. So now that they're getting some food, they're going to probably start growing quite quickly. 26 out of 56 is where they are at. So there you go. We're off and away, and we're started, and we'll tidy up those few things. And when we've made a little bit of money and tidied up those last little bits, I'll bring you back. I'll see you soon. Well, hello again. Welcome back. It's 1875. Our first 25 years are behind us. So, where are we at? Where are we at? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, all of our bus lines are doing fine. We'll have a look at those in more detail in a minute. I haven't really got everything sorted that I want to get sorted. I've connected up the stone and bricks, but I haven't put a train on it yet. I'll explain why in a minute. I started getting ready with the steel, so we've got the ore and the coal and the steel plant kind of lining up. I do see here that we could potentially connect this wood into this line as well, or around the side. Whether double lining would be more efficient than yet another single line, don't know. I mean, we're going to have to double line at some point, so we may as well bite the bullet sooner rather than later. I've had a look around the map at any other places that I think really jump out as being any easy wins. There's this food supply chain here to Dubai, which we're going to have to get into, but there's this mountain in the way and an awful lot of forest and a couple of inconveniently placed roads. So it's doable, but it's not going to be the cheapest. It's going to be a bit annoying. That's probably the situation there. We hooked up this oil easy win, which is great. I got a little train chugging along there, making me 240,000, which is just tickety boo. There's another oil down here now. I wasn't going to bring this in just yet because it's a little bit longer. However, this refinery was going to go out of business. So I bit the bullet and borrowed some money and crafted it because there's a little bit of it's not the simplest thing in the world, but anyway, it was worth the money. The train is down there and he is now making me 168, but he doesn't have many carriages on him. He's only got 3, so I need to make him a little bit bigger, which is all well and good. And we've got the food supply going to Krasno and everything else. So there's not a heck of a lot else which is particularly easy, although I am eyeing this up as a possible shipping route. We've got timber here. Um, we did have an industry here which has gone out, but we could make timber here, but it wouldn't be we wouldn't have much use for the end product. That would kind of be the only thing at the minute. All the other timber stuff is over here, and I don't see any other significant boat routes that jump out as being particularly easy. We could try and dredge a channel through here, and we could run oil down to the refinery because there's plastics over there, so we could get oil here and then plastics over there. But again, that's not an easy win. These are like medium level, need a little bit of cash behind us investments. So anyway, where are we? Well, the reason I bring you in is we've paid off our loan, which is jolly, jolly good. So this is our finances for since we started, really. So we've been picking things up, paying off our loan, picking things up, and paying off our loan. I did say that it does create much more of a drag on your finances than you think having the loan. So I keep the loan for when I need to buy a train because trains are expensive at this stage. So set up a line with your profits and then buy the train because what you're hoping essentially is the train's going to pay it off, right? So that's the kind of situation. So we've gotten rid of the loan. That's a great place to be. We've got some lines in place. That's also a great place to be. If we have a look at the lines first, you can see that this is the one that I haven't got anything on, and every line is making money. Hurrah! So every line is making money. We have no losers. That is the way it should be. That is definitely the way it should be. Vehicle-wise, none of our vehicles are losing money. Hurrah! That is the way it should be. So everything's ticking along. Everything's going brilliantly. Our lines are making money. Our vehicles are making money. Everything is making us money. We have paid off our loan. We are ready to start looking at cementing some solid basics. Everything is desperately simple. Desperately, desperately simple. Single lines, single trains. Where I need to, I've got little things going, but it really is super, super simple at this stage, and everything is going super brilliant. And in terms of keeping on top of the maintenance, I have been keeping on top of the maintenance. I've been basically waiting and sort of doing 3 wagons when they get to mediocre at a time, sort of like every 6 to 9 months. There will be some big expenses coming, don't get me wrong. This thing will be the first one. When we start having to replace trains, although we've been replacing up with trains, so we'll keep an eye on it. So anyway, we're off to cracking start. 25 years, it's a slow start. The first 50 always is. We've got a little bit more fiddling to do, a little of those lines to tie off, and get a little bit growth and development going, and try and look at where we can get some of these basics nailed off, see what industries change and how they change, and then start planning for the next stages, which will be making sure that we've got as many of the basic things covered, and then start looking at how we can supply some of these places with some more of their basic necessities. Right? Great start. Hope you love it. Do click that like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification. And if you're watching this now, you probably will have seen or will have heard that channel memberships are now open. Please feel free to have a look. And if you're interested, do join. I'd love to see you. Until then, ta-ta for now.